If you are planning a trip to Bali, do yourself a favor, whether it's a short-term or long-term, don't stay in Seminyak. So this has been my first trip to Bali. I've been, as of the making of this video, I've been here 8 days. Little secret, I actually kind of threw together the whole idea of coming here at the last second. Hold on. And exactly my point. So while you're down here, basically the majority of what's in Seminyak is sort of little shops that are trying to sell you, little counterfeit goods and stuff like that, which is cool. I no shade about that. I love me some nice counterfeit, jewelry and clothes and all that other stuff. However, it doesn't require you to actually stay here. So it's the little knockoff shops. But more importantly, the thing that's really annoying about being here is everywhere you're walking, there's, when I say constant, I mean twice a minute, there's someone, if you are outside, there's someone hollering at you, trying to get you on their scooter. Not in a scammy way, but just like wanting to give you a ride on their scooter, kind of a little taxi service. That's what all those little beeping noises, like little honk noises, they're honking at me. And so after being in Bali for 8 days, I actually really enjoyed it. I really thought it was a cool place. I've actually, later this week, I'm gonna publish a video comparing two of the major digital nomad hubs, Paranon and Canggu. Both of them were super fucking cool. And I'm gonna give them a score. I'm gonna score them, give them different criteria, and I'll let you know which one what my preference was. It was actually pretty close, but I'll also kind of give my explanation and recommendation for depending on you, depending on your preferences, which one I think would probably be a better fit. So that being said, back to Seminyak, where we're at right now, as I'm walking to my gym. For the most part, when I was throwing together the idea for coming to Bali at all, like I was in Jakarta prior to this, and I was asking one of my buddies that had been around Indonesia a little bit more than me. I hadn't been to Indonesia for 10 years, and I'd only been to Jakarta, and it had changed. It had changed a lot in the 10 years since I had been there. But I hit up one of my friends and asked a couple other people's opinions, like, hey, what do you think I should do? Should I stay in Jakarta longer? Should I hang out in Bali? And all of them are like, oh yeah, go Bali. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Everybody goes to Bali. I've never been. Let's go ahead and check it out. So where should I go? And one of my friends kind of listed off a couple places, and I picked somewhere that it seemed like it was kind of in the middle. So I was like, all right, Seminyak. Started looking at Airbnbs. Found what looked like a pretty nice villa. I'll actually show it. I'll actually be doing my summary for my comparison video in the pool at my condo. So you get a chance to see that. And it's pretty nice. I like it. However, as soon as I pop out, it's immediately bikes constantly holler at you, stopping you, saying like, hey, do you need a ride? It's shop owners constantly saying like, hey, back. And it doesn't matter whether you say no thanks or you wave them on, like they really insist, and it doesn't matter even if you get the one of them to like get the message. As soon as you walk another 5 feet, you're just gonna have another person hollering at you. So you're kind of always uncomfortable everywhere you are, because you always have either you're walking another 5 feet and you have another shop owner try to hit you up for, buying their stuff, or you're not moving at all and you have bikes coming by hitting you up saying like like, hey, hop on. And like, these people don't have any common sense. Like, even if you literally just got out of a taxi cab, when they saw you getting out of a taxi cab, they can watch you get out of a taxi and they'll be saying like, hey, you need a bike ride? You need a bike ride? And then and then a lot of times I'll wave them off with my hand or whatever. But at the same time, like, maybe I'll judge me because I'm just a Westerner that, wants to be, wants my own time, and they're just trying to make money, and my time doesn't matter. Well, guess what? My time matters. Your time matters. Your ability to, your personal space and self-respect matter. And so, needless to say, like, they're not going to change. So what you need to do is, in addition to me being able to give you good recommendations on things to do and places to go, I also, just as a matter of honesty, I have to be able to tell you where not to go. And this area is a little more meant for tourists anyway, which, not that I'm saying if you're you're more of a tourist, unsubscribe or don't watch my content, but like, honestly, I make my content for people that do long-term travel, deep travel, digital nomading, people that are going to be in a place for a while, and you're probably going to be balancing sort of the joys of travel with the very real need to still be productive and have a good routine and have a good workflow, which is why, for the most part, I'm going to recommend locations that allow you to get into a good routine. So I'll show you, what gyms I recommend, what co-working spaces I really liked, and try to package those all in sort of a day in the life sort of scenario of, if you are thinking about going somewhere, this is what a possible daily routine could look like. So, a little bit of background on sort of the area that I'm in. So there's two main touristy areas. There's one, like I said, I'm in Seminyak. There's another one just south of me called Kuta. And I only went there for one day, and it was all families. It was all like, think of the most touristy of touristy you can get, in terms of just like, it was all the people that weren't working were foreigners, and specifically they were like foreign families. So it was like a bunch of kids running around and all that other stuff. But then where I'm at in Seminyak is a little more of the, shall we say, I don't mean this in a seedy way, but it's a little bit more of the, more single crowd. There's a lot more, I guess, clubs and partying. I didn't do any of that while I was here. I did go out a little bit on Saturday night, and the thing was it was raining, not extremely bad, but it was raining enough to where just looking for a place to go on a Saturday night at 11 p.m., like the bars were closed, like things were not open, like they weren't closed, they were open, but there was nobody in them. Like, I'm like, this is Saturday night in Seminyak, like this area is known as like having like a decent nightlife. I couldn't find anywhere decent to go, so it was kind of a fail on that account. And so I hate, unfortunately in the modern world, social media, especially for a small channel like mine, people don't want to post negative content, and they also don't want to post negative content about other places that they're visiting. But I mean, I just gotta be honest, like, there are other better places to stay in Bali. And so the truth of the matter is, if you are planning a trip to come to Bali. I'm going to go ahead and pitch you my recommendations on whether to steer yourself towards Paranon or Canggu. But I'll definitely say this: avoid Kuta, avoid Seminyak, and subscribe to this if you like this message, and also subscribe to this if you got some value out of this video and you're interested in seeing what my recommendations are for you if you are planning to come here, and whether Paranon or Canggu would be the better choice for you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, see you later.